Hello everybody, welcome back to Wolfeei. Today we have news regarding Block Wars Brawl. The video team application teams have been selected. We're going to look at that. And then also I have some information regarding the teams for the actual event. Team announcements, when are they happening, and some hints for the teams, because usually I try to give hints. And considering this is, in fact, the last, event before we go on break, that's what the finish line is for, then, I wanted to give some hints. I tried to make them a little bit more obscure. I'll try to, we'll get to that later. Anyways, first, the information that is present, public, etc. already, is regarding the video application team for Block Wars Brawl. It has been selected, everybody has been contacted, and everybody has responded. So, if you haven't been contacted, if, by the way, you were curious, we contacted people through the Block Wars Twitter account, so if you don't have a DM from the Block Wars Twitter account regarding Block Wars Brawl and the video application team, I'm sorry to say that your team did not get selected this time around. Regardless, the teams for Block Wars Brawl will be revealed starting tomorrow, and there's more info in the replies. So, there was a total of 3 teams selected from the video application process. One team will be selected to play. That'll be the, purple team announcement. And there will also be 2 substitute teams, which are already confirmed. In case, somebody from the purple team subs out, we need an entire new team to sub in, because you can't really sub, like, a person into a team that was selected as a combined team from an application. So that's kind of the logic behind that. So that's why we have 2 substitute teams. Those will also be announced. I'll get into that a little bit later. And yes, we did review every single application. We watched every video. Multiple staff members actually watched pretty much all of the video. Well, at least a handful of staff watched every video, and then a few more tuned in to kind of watch some of the more prominent ones once we kind of had an idea of which ones would stick out. So that's a bit more backstory behind how that worked roughly. And then, furthermore, actually, also should say, it was really fun looking at the applications. Seeing people get a bit more creative, seeing people get together, and kind of, seeing people's interpretation of how to do a video application, and kind of seeing how in full transparency, the contrast between how people approach the Block Wars one versus the MCC one, etc. Right? It's very interesting because the prompts for the videos were different. They were almost wholly and unique, right? So that's very cool. And then furthermore, team announcements will take place from Monday, which is as of me recording and probably posting this tomorrow, and until Wednesday, which means yes, the teams are being announced over the span of 3 total days. This is because we are announcing 10 teams technically, right? 8 playing teams, which is the 7 regular ones and the video application team, plus 2 substitute teams. Just for the last event, and considering it's like high comp, and it'll probably be pretty hype. We'll just do it over 3 days, because we can. To explain that a little bit, on Monday and Tuesday, 3 teams will be posted each day. So red, orange, and yellow will be posted on Monday with 30-minute intervals in between the team announcements. Red will be at the usual starting time, then at the half-hour mark will be the orange team, and then at the hour mark following will be the yellow team. This is the same for Tuesday, except it would be the green, aqua, and blue team, which, same process, but that's how that will work. And then on Wednesday is when things get a bit more interesting. We go back to announcing 4 teams on one day, in which it'll be 20-minute intervals between all team announcements, which I actually forgot to put in here, but I guess that's explained here. 20-minute intervals, just like how it usually is for Block Wars, and it'll be the purple, the playing video application team, will be announced at the hour mark, and then the 20 and the 40-minute mark will be the substitute teams, individually. The 20-minute mark, you get substitute team A, and then substitute team B will be on the 40-minute mark, and then at the hour mark following will be the pink team announcement. So that'll be the whole batch of announcements regarding teams this time around. So you should be fully caught up in all the information regarding that, etc. Anyways, then we can go in game. I'll put this on like that. And we'll look at the hints. So I tried my best to give hints that aren't completely worthless, but also ones that don't reveal too much. I initially had hints prepped here that just made half the teams really easy to guess, because I will be honest, some of the combos that are in this one make a lot of sense, right? You're like, yeah, that works pretty well. It's like cool. It's like, oh my god, sick. But it makes sense. It's not like it's not like I assembled the like Avengers X Mario movie cast together. It's just competitive roster, or more so like a higher balancing, higher comp roster, and you get some new faces, etc., and it makes sense. So here are the hints. The red team, 5 SMP players, but not all 5 players are from the same SMP. That's all you get for that one. The orange team, mom and dad are fighting again. Wonder what that means. Then you have the yellow team, which is one of the more obscure hints. I'll try to explain a little bit. 3 in 2 ways. What does that mean? Huh? Hello? Well, if we go back to, I think it was Block Wars, this one, we had a team where I gave the hint 5th, and people interpreted this as initially 5. People said, oh my god, 5 up, right? Because 5 up, 5th. And that had to do with a bit more of an obscure, kind of part of how the team worked. I think this was Joe and Sneeg's 5th time playing together. I think Joe was either the first person to be a 5th time winner or soon or something. And there were 3 things that had to do with 5th regarding this team. I think it had mostly to do with Joe Bart. So that was like a gimmicky 5th, right? And people kind of complain about this one, but in all honesty, yeah, you can give an easy hint to reveal that, but it's, whatever. So this is a similar idea. 3, the number 3, third, 3, whatever, right, has to do with this team in 2 different ways. Specifically for this roster, one of them is notable. I will say, one of the factors that 3 relates to is usually not that big of a deal, but in this specific type of roster, it is quite notable because certain element of a regular Minecraft event roster in this type of context is unfortunately a little less common, which is present on this team. I'm trying to be as obscure as possible. And then 3 relates to this team in another way. But if I give more info, you'll know what it means. So that's all you get. That's all the info you get regarding the yellow team. I like it. It's a cool team. I think yellow is pretty awesome. So yes, that's my opinion. I think all the teams are pretty awesome. And I'll recap for now. So red, orange, yellow, I think will give off a certain impression of what this roster might feel like. And then I think the second day teams completely are the opposite expectation, really. I think, in my opinion, you'll be like, huh? That's like almost entirely different from the first day. Not really. I think I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but the first half, or the first 3 teams and the second 3 teams are not the same vibe, in my opinion. Kind of done on purpose. Also because I wanted to give people some colors they maybe hadn't been on before. Green team, I made up an Angry Birds Gamer quote, and I said this team be like good at PvP, because I think if Angry Birds Gamer sees this team, he'd probably say this team be like good at PvP. In my opinion, it makes sense. This team be like good at PvP, I think. Then you have the Aqua team, which it's a bit of maybe a peculiar hint, and this relates to the entire team. This is unexpected, but it makes sense that it's happening. That's all you get. And then the blue team, which is, oh boy, where do I even begin? There's a lot. Wow, this team, yep. I think you'll be surprised when you see that one. Purple team, obviously, I can't give a hint for because I don't want to leak which team got selected. You're just getting nothing, and we'll see which team gets selected. And then finally, you have, I actually coincidentally happened to speak with one of the people on this team, who kind of brought this up. This team is a notable duo, plus, to an extent, another notable duo, plus, apparently, a requested duo. And they're all on the same team. There is overlap, of course, right? There's not 6 players in this team. One of the people from one of the duos was also part of a requested duo that I was unaware of. So there is overlap. That is the pink team hint, in case you were curious. So, yes. Anyways, those are the hints for Block Wars Brawl teams. They'll be announced tomorrow. I'll be live as well today to just kind of yap without giving too much info. But I wanted to, you know, put the hints in a place where they would be easily findable. And then also, I guess, just to briefly look at it, because teams go out tomorrow, and I've already looked at this on stream. We have predictions that were made. I'll just briefly scroll through these. So here's your red team. Here is the orange team. These are not official teams, by the way, just to clarify, these are the team predictions. Then they made this one, they made that one, they made this one. This is the video application team that they assume is going to get in. And then there is this one. And I also gave a response saying 2 people correct. What does that mean? It means that out of all of the people that were predicted here, 2 individual players, could be on the same team, could be whatever, right? 2 players are on the correct color. That's all you get. I'm not going to say like, oh my god, you got to do it correct. 2 players are on the correct color. Could be on the same team, could be individual. This applies to the other 2 as well. Then we have this one, which actually ended up having 0 correct. So 0 people were on the correct color. They have this team, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And this is the video team they assume gets in, and then this one, which is still... This, I gotta mention, by the way, maybe top 10 team predictions ever. As in, like, it's cool. It would never happen, but it's sick. It's really cool. But yeah, crazy. This one had 0 correct, so I guess that, you know, I'm fairly sure that, yeah, Fruit and Fine on this team were on, or in this prediction were on pink, and then they're on pink here again, and this one has 2 correct, and this one has 0. So, to clarify, that means that Fruitberries and Feinberg cannot be on the pink team, because this one has 0 correct, and this one has 2. That's great, quick math. And then finally, you have this one, which actually ended up having 1 correct, where they predicted this team, 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 and this team. So there you go. Those are the predictions, the most recent relevant predictions regarding Block Wars Brawl, and all the information regarding team announcements, the video application team selection process, etc. Thank you all for watching. Tune in tomorrow for the you know, stream where I look at the team announcements. It's always fun to see people, you know, get hyped and throw out their predictions in the chat. I will be live tomorrow, probably earlier than usual, maybe. Probably going to start at like 2 p.m. BST, maybe 2:30 p.m. BST, which in Eastern time was 9 a.m. Because I feel like it. So, anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you're excited. I'll see you later. Goodbye.